Hey guys, welcome back. Jumping straight into brows today, of course, taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in dark brown. And I'm really going to fill in my brows today. I'm going for a high glam look, so I want to make sure my brows are nice and filled in and sharp and crisp. So just filling in any sparse areas and just really defining the tails. And then taking my Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer, I'm just going to use that to prime my lids, and I'm also going to be carving out the brows today. I really wanted to make sure the brows were strong because I was going for, as I said, a high glam look. So I just wanted them to be poppin' and looking really good. So just carving them out, blending in the concealer downwards all over the lid just to give a nice base. For eyeshadow today, I'm taking my Morphe 350 and picking up the lightest shade. I'm just going to use that, of course, to set down the concealer. This is just going to make sure it's not too tacky because we are playing with nice, vibrant colors. I just want them to blend seamlessly and not be too full on. For transition, I'm picking up a light burnt orange shade. This is just going to be placed on my crease just to make sure that other colors blend out seamlessly. Having a transition shade is a really good idea when you are playing around with especially bright or even dark colors. It just lays a base and helps the colors blend out a lot better. And then just to deepen up the crease and define it a little bit better, I'm going in with a slightly darker burnt orange shade. I'm just going to place this just slightly below where I put the original transition shade. This is just going to really define the crease and make the eye pop a little bit. And it's also going to prepare for the next bright color I'm going to use. So I like to start from light and then go all the way to darker. So picking up the darker orange, I'm going to place that below all the colors I've just done. And then just to deepen up the crease and add a little bit more definition, I'm just going to pick up an orange toned brown shade. And on a slightly more dense brush, I'm just going to run that in the lower half of my crease and as well into my outer corner. And then going back in with my original transition shade, I'm just going to take a clean brush and just blend everything out. This is just going to make it all nice and seamless and pretty. And then time to cut the crease. This was actually my first time cutting the crease in the way that I did it. I know I've done kind of a cut crease tutorial before, but I felt like this time I really tried my best to cut it perfectly. So I'm using a angled eyeliner brush and just with some Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer, I'm just going to cut the crease, just following the natural eye shape of my eye, but also extending it a little bit more because my eyes are slightly hooded. And then over the top of that, I'm going to be placing some of the Too Faced Glitter Glue. This is just going to make sure the next color I pop on is just going to be really pigmented and glowy and beautiful. So picking up the Rose Gold Shimmer shade out of the palette, I'm just going to use, it's kind of like a short concealer brush type brush. I'm just going to use that to pack on the shimmer shade and make sure it's really full on because I love myself some shimmer. And then just to smoke out that rose gold a little bit more and add a little bit more definition to the eye, I'm just picking up a darkish brown shade from the palette, smoking out the edges of the rose gold into the crease. For the base, I'm going to take my Hourglass Ambient Primer in the shade Mood Light, and I'm just going to pop that on my skin using a stippling brush. This primer is beautiful because it adds a glow, which is what I'm going for. I want this to look really nice and glowy just to tie in with the eyes. And then using the Josie Maran Light Argan Oil, I'm just going to hydrate my lips a little bit because they were very dry. For foundation today, I'm finally tan, so I'm going in with my Born This Way foundation in the shade Sand, and just using my Beauty Blender, I'm just going to buff that into the skin. And then to mix it up today, I'm going to take my Born This Way concealer in the shade Very Fair. This was actually a first impressions test of the concealer because I had been holding off using it. I wanted to use it in a full face first impressions video, but I've been using my Urban Decay concealer so much that I just wanted to slip in something different. I wasn't a fan of it completely. I felt like the formula wasn't as thick as the Urban Decay. If you like a thinner concealer, this is absolutely perfect. It's really nice and natural, but I do really like thick concealers. So I wasn't 100% sold on it, but it was still a beautiful color and the formula was really nice. I'm also going to cream contour today, so I'm taking my Nude by Nature Contour Fluid Trio in the contour shade, and using a synthetic concealer brush, I'm just going to pop that on my cheekbones, on my forehead and my temples, and also on my nose. I don't normally cream contour, but I really wanted to mix it up today and go for like a full glam look, and I wanted to, you know, try and use some more cream products as well, so I thought why not. So just popping that on all the places and blending it out with my Beauty Blender. Carrying on with the cream products, I'm taking my Josie Maran Enlightenment, I think that's what it's called. It's a cream liquid highlighter, and just popping that on my cheekbones, my Cupid's bow, and on my nose, and then again blending that out with my Beauty Blender. This is really beautiful. I really like the shimmer it gives, and it's just nice to have a cream highlighter base for the powder highlighter. To bake, I'm of course taking my RCMA Loose Translucent Powder, just popping that under my eyes just to make sure the concealer stays nice and set and also nice and highlighted. I'd never worked with this concealer before, so I just wanted to make sure it was all set in place, and also setting the concealer I popped on my chin as well. And then using a little bit more of that powder, I'm just going to lightly set the rest of my face. I didn't want to go too heavy because I still wanted to maintain that glowy skin. I'm going in with my Too Faced Chocolate Soleil, and I'm going to be contouring today, just taking it on the spots where I popped the cream contour and making sure my cheekbones are nice and sharp and my forehead is nice and bronzed. I'm also contouring my chin, just making sure my jawline is nice and strong, and blend it in with my neck. And then blending that bake off. It actually looks really good. I know I said I wasn't a complete fan of this concealer, but it's set beautifully. And then for bronzer, taking my Tarte Social Butterfly bronzer, I'm just going to warm up the face a little bit more and blend in that contour. I'm also going to contour my nose with that Tarte bronzer today, and then I'm also going to pop it under my lips just to give them more of a full effect. For highlight today, I'm going to use a shade out of the Modern Renaissance palette called Vermeer. I've heard so many people using this as a highlight, and my god girl, it seriously lit up my face like no highlighter has ever lit up my face before. So if you have this palette, do use it. So just popping it on my cheekbones, my nose, and my Cupid's bow, and also in my inner corner as an inner corner highlight. And I also took that under my brow bone as well. For blush today, I'm going to use a Makeup Geek blush in the shade Spellbound. It's a really nice matte pink pastel color. So just popping that lightly on my cheekbones. I'm not a fan of blush, but I'm seriously obsessed with this one. It just gives a nice flush of color. And then to finish off the eye look, I'm taking that same brown shade that I ran on my outer corner, and I'm just going to pop that on my lower lash line using a pencil brush. And then just to darken up my lash line, I'm just taking my Smashbox Always Sharp Kohl liner and just running that in my tight line. This just helps darken up the base of the lashes and also provides more of like a dark area for the lashes to stick onto. And then for my mascara, of course, taking my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I don't think I'll ever use another mascara in my whole life unless someone comes out with one that is 4 million times better than this one. So just coating my top and my bottom lashes generously. And then to finish off the face, I'm just going to brighten up under my eyes a little bit more with the Australis Banana Powder just to make sure they're nice and highlighted. And for false lashes, I'm switching it up today and using the Red Cherry Lashes in number 43. Straight onto lips, taking my Posy K Lip Liner by Kylie Cosmetics, and I'm just going to outline my lips, making sure they look nice and full. And then popping my favorite Dose of Colors lip gloss in the shade Bellini on top and making sure it's all blended in with the lip liner. And just to add a little bit more shimmer, because why not, I'm taking that Vermeer shade from the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette and just popping it on my lips to make them more glowy. And then setting everything with my Mario Badescu Rosewater Spray, and that's it. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. It was so fun to film. I was finally tanned for once and I was loving it. So if you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!